Introduction of this evening's starting lineup will begin at this time. Goalkeeper for St. Vincent's, Joe Maria Quachi. Goal defense, Josan Anton. Wing defense, Shamara Warner. The center, Marissa Dalplesh. At wing attack, Ruthann Williams. The goal attack, Tanisha Antoine. And the goal shooter, Marianne Vedran. Ladies and gentlemen, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Republic of Barbados. At goalkeeper, Faye Agar. Goal defense, Akina Stout. Wing defense, Zakia Curtin. The center, Tonisha Rocchio. Wing attack, Sabrina Smith. The goal attack, Latonia Blackman. And the goal shooter, Shanika Wharton. The umpires for this evening's game, Makiba Clark, Joel Brown, the reserve, Michelle Maynard.
Good evening and welcome to the Sir Garfield Sober Sports Complex here at the Wildy Gymnasium. This is live coverage of the International Invitational Netball Series between Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Barbados with a 2-game lead over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. My name is Anmar Goodrich Boyce, and welcome back to the coverage. I'm alongside former president of the Barbados Netball Association, Miss Annette Blackett. Annette, good evening.
Good evening to you, and it's good to be here again, and we shall see what happens in this game tonight.
So Barbados, the home team, in their traditional yellow and blue, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, their uniform is more of a blue, yellow and green, as we see the first opportunity for Barbados to get on the score sheet tonight, and Latonia Blackman it is, with the first point, the first goal of the game so far. So Barbados with a lead. I'll just call out the teams for you. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they start with Josan Antonio. Goal defense, goal attack is Kamisha Antone. Center, Narissa Dalpiche. Goal shooter, Marianne Frederick. Goalkeeper, Jose Marie Krishi. Goal defense, Shamara Warner. And wing defense, I beg your pardon, Shamara Warner. And wing attack, Ruth Ann Williams. The Barbados team, goalkeeper, Faye Agard. Goal attack, Latonia Blackman. Wing defense, Zakia Curtin. Center, Tanisha Rockyaw. Wing attack, Sabrina Smith. Goal defense, Akina Stout. And goal shooter, Shanika Wharton. So those are the teams for this, the final match in this invitational netball series between Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as Frederick with the first goal of the night for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Annette?
Yes, well, I think the Vincentians will try to emulate what they did in the first half of the game last night, because remember, the first half of the game last night, St. Vincent and the Grenadines was ahead, and they would definitely try to repeat that, while Barbados will be trying to stop that and see if in this first quarter they could take the lead.
So this is Smith now. Bit of a 1-2, lovely pass into Wharton. And Wharton gets it to go.
Yes, I'm a little concerned about how slow these games start. On both sides, you know, both teams. That speaks to the fact that in Barbados and in St. Vincent's case, not a lot of netball has been played at this level over the last 3 years because of COVID, and the fitness level, they may be fit, but in terms of getting fitness for the game is a different story. And I think both teams will be very glad for this series to work on that, because it will be clear that they need to work on that.
The goal attack for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not able on that opportunity to get the ball into the goal. I'll let you explain that call there, Annette.
Right, that was obstruction in netball. You have to be 3 feet away from the person with the ball. If you are not, it is obstruction, and if it's in the circle, it's a penalty pass. If it's outside the circle, if it's out, you know, in the rest of the court, it's also a penalty pass. But in the circle, when you hear penalty pass, the shooter has the option to pass the ball or to shoot the ball. That's the subtle difference between what happens inside the circle and in the rest of the playing area.
So Frederick's there with a chance. She'll have a chance. Hand in the face from Stout, but can't get it to deny Frederick on that opportunity, as St. Vincent and the Grenadines get another goal on the board.
Yes, well, they seem to be using the same ploy that they used in the first session last night. So we'll see how far that goes. Shanika Walken took a shot from the rim of the circle and it missed. So the ball is with St. Vincent now. They'll bring that down to their goal circle.
Yeah, that's a rare miss from Wharton so far for this series. She has been very prolific, doing her job as the goal shooter for Team Barbados. As we see Rockyaw to Smith. Smith. There's a call there by the umpire.
Obstruction call.
Blackman gets it to go.
Score is 5-all, and we're into just about 4 minutes of the game has gone so far. So it is really at a slow clip.
As we see Royal to Smith. Smith looks for Blackman. Blackman to Stout. Oh, a lovely pass from Stout into Smith. Smith finds Wharton. Oh, no.
That's not like Wharton at all. That's just how she started last night. But she just have to pull herself together, get her confidence, and know that she can do it.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic there from the Barbados goal shooter Wharton as we see another turnover. Here comes Rockyaw to Smith. Smith dancing about the court. She finds Stout. Another pass into Blackman. Blackman finds the center. Rockyaw. Rockyaw back to Blackman. Can she get it go? Yes, she can. Latonia Blackman there with another goal for Team Barbados as the home team take the lead.
Yes, they do. 6 goals to Barbados, 5 to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Blackman again misses on that opportunity. Is recovered by Smith. Lovely passing there from Team Barbados. Blackman to Wharton. Wharton with the opportunity. Gets it to go. So Barbados with a 2-goal lead here at this stage, leading St. Vincent and the Grenadines by 7 to 5.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines centre pass, and as we would say, it's very important this early in the game to protect your centre pass. That is, score on your centre pass. The only thing that would happen there is that at the end of the quarter, the scores would be tied.
Yes, we see the visitors look to come forward, trying to find Frederick. But the goal attack on that opportunity, Kimisha Antoine couldn't get it to go. She'll have another chance here. Yes. Fair to say, evenly poised contest at this stage. Early days though, but oh, lovely there. The pass from Rockyaw to Wharton. It's another miss from Wharton.
Well, that happens sometimes. But the thing is that you pick yourself up and you go again because you know what is required of you and what you can do.
Interception there by Rockyaw. She finds Smith. Lovely bit of play there from Team Barbados.
Footwork.
Footwork called there by the umpire. Frederick on that chance there, yes. Unable to keep the ball alive.
Yes, but they're putting some horrible passes into Frederick.
Frederick not able to get the service she requires, as this is Stout. Finds Rockyaw. Rockyaw to Smith. Smith to Wharton. So Wharton will have an opportunity here. There she is with the ball in her hand. And gets it to go. Definitely a confident booster for her.
Should be.
This is Tanisha Rockyaw. Back to Blackman. Blackman to Smith. What can Smith do? Looks to find Wharton.
He's out of court.
Was it the back leg? The right leg?
Yeah, the right foot was out of court.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines trying to get the ball forward, but no way through. This is Tanisha Rockyaw. Rockyaw to Sabrina Smith. Smith to Blackman. Rockyaw to Blackman. Blackman gets it in. So the score now reads Barbados 10, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 6. So a 4-goal lead here for Barbados in this, the first quarter of the final match between the home team Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines in this, the International Invitational Netball Series, as Barbados prepares for the Commonwealth Games. The Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, United Kingdom, from July 28 until August 8, and the Bajan Gems will be participating.
We saw just now the goal defense from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. She was given a caution by the umpire. St. Vincent scored, so the score is now 10 goals to Barbados, 6 to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Barbados will try to get that ball into their goal circle again.
This is Blackman. Oh, lovely pass from Wharton. She does well. And Wharton converts yet again. So the score 11 to 7. Barbados 11, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 7. So they pass into Frederick. Frederick, oh, gets it to go. Ball hit the rim a bit and went in.
Frederick must be very disappointed with the type of passes she's getting. Were it not for her dexterity and ability, she wouldn't get them. But she jumped very well and she jumped straight up, so she's able to get them.
Stoke went a bit too early there. Missed the challenge, it seemed.
Penalty pass. St. Vincent scores.
Yeah, that's Kamisha Antone. The goal attack for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Just losing, St. Vincent is just losing that ball on their goal line too often.
It's the ball with the Barbados team. This is Blackman to Smith. Smith to Stoke. Stoke, another pass there, back to Smith. And Smith there looking to play the ball over the top into Wharton, but on that opportunity, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines defense did well enough to pressure Wharton, and the ball eventually went out.
Another force. Now who is that for?
Yeah.
I tell you, those sort of passes, as I said last night, give the coaches nightmares.
Rearward one, innit?
Not just rearward, but there's no reason to do that. Well taken there by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A pass by Faciri of Barbados. So it's back up by the St. Vincent and Grenadines goal circle for them to attempt a shot.
This is going to be Fedre, and she makes a shot. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines creeping back into this one. Just a 2-goal game again.
Yes, 11 goals to Barbados. Actually, it's 10 now to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So it's a 1-goal deficit.
Yep.
And clearly, St. Vincent is deliberately slowing down the game, though. There goes that overhead.
The pass into Frederick.
Yes, but this time she got the contact.
And it's an even game. So we saw last night, Barbados going behind, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines having a nice lead. And then Barbados with the chance to come as Frederick gets it in. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines lead for the first time tonight. The score now reads 12-11. I was just making the point about Barbados coming from behind last night when St. Vincent and the Grenadines were leading. And now we see this tonight. St. Vincent and the Grenadines coming from behind to lead Barbados.
Overhead pass again.
Frederick, on that chance, she gets the goal in. You mentioned the service into Frederick, and it seems like once she gets the good passes, she will convert.
Yeah, she will, but difficulty that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is having is that they're not doing that consistently enough. Federic, with the best of wills, she's being either blocked out or being forced to the wrong side of the court, so she cannot get the pass, and it goes out of court. I think that's the end of the first quarter, which St. Vincent and the Grenadines leads 13 to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 12 to Barbados.
So the visitors with a 1-goal lead here at the end of the first quarter in this, the final match of the International Invitational Netball Series between Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Bajan Gems already clinching this series, having won the first 2 games, but St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be hoping that they can get a consolation win tonight, and that will do their confidence good if they can get it. And of course, Barbados, on the other hand, looking to make it 3 wins from 3 matches. As we see, this is a nice shot of some of the spectators that have gathered here at the Wildy Gymnasium. It is a nice sight to see. We haven't had international netball here in Barbados for quite a while, obviously due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So it's lovely to see the spectators back. It is a lovely Sunday afternoon here in Barbados, and a nice thing to do, come to watch netball.
Correct. Because earlier this afternoon we had a men's game against some past nationals, and that was very entertaining. And the spectators that were here, they enjoyed it.
I think a couple of spectators who are still trickling in. As we see a shot of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines bench.
Somebody's knee is getting massaged here. I think that's the wing attack. Her knee is getting massaged.
That's Rufan Williams.
Right, so coaches are busy talking to the players. I believe there's going to be a change in the Barbados setup. Tracy has off the bib, but I'm not seeing who is coming on. Oh, Shana Azur is coming on to replace Tracy, I think.
As we see there, a conversation there between Margaret Cutton, the head coach of Barbados, and Shanika Wharton.
It doesn't seem as if Shanika Wharton is very happy right now. So the coach is probably just trying to gear up, give her some motivation for her to go and do the job.
So you mentioned the change for Barbados, as we just heard the stadium announcer, Mr. Brian Holder, announcing it. It's going to be Azor Bruce in. And who will be going out?
Faith Seeley.
Faith Seeley, that's correct.
Faith Seeley, Garrett.
So I think that's the only change for Team Barbados.
Yes, the spectators are quite quiet. They're pensive, huh? They're wondering why is Barbados not further ahead, or for that case, depending on which team they're supporting, why is St. Vincent and the Grenadines not further ahead?
Yeah.
Because it has been that type of game. No one team has dominated that first quarter. So we'll see what happens in the second quarter. It was clear that St. Vincent was playing slowly, deliberately.
Yeah.
So Barbados would need to quicken up what's happening and play their game and not St. Vincent and the Grenadines' game. So we'll see what happens here in the second quarter. It's going to be Barbados centre pass will start the second quarter off.
It's going to be Tanisha Rock-Yall.
No, it isn't. It's going to be St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah. It's a bit of a change there. So no changes for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. While the one change for Barbados, Faith Seeley is out at goalkeeper. And Shawnette Azakor Bruce, she's in as Shanika Wharton with the opportunity to get a goal for Barbados, and she does just that. And just at the break, we saw a conversation between Wharton and the head coach, Margaret Cutton. And it seems like Cutton's words are still ringing in Wharton's ears. And she's taken that good old advice. And she started the quarter just how she wanted it. So Wharton will have another opportunity. Makes it 2 from 2 for this quarter.
Well, as you know, a quarter is 15 minutes. So she has another 13 minutes to go.
And the Grenadines come forward. It's an interception there by Bruce. And Barbados can come forward. This is Tanisha Rockyaw, Blackman. Swift play, Blackman. Back to Rockyaw and Blackman. Blackman gets it to go, yes. Lovely bit of play there from Team Barbados. Everyone involved on that opportunity. And as you saw there, Blackman finishing off, putting the final touches onto that one. And Wharton again converting, so she's 3 from 3 for this quarter so far. And Barbados with the lead, 15-13 over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The visitors come forward. Nice bounce pass there. And this is Frederick with the opportunity to get on the scoreboard again. And she makes it, yep. Nothing but net there from Frederick. Mary-Ann Frederick, the goal shooter for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as we saw the pass there from Smith. Not the best one. And the visitors come forward. This is Delpiche. Oh, a lovely bit of play there from Delpiche into Antone. And Antone with the opportunity. Can't get it to go, but this is Frederick. She recovers lovely and gets the ball into the goal for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So it's back to a 1-goal game. Barbados 16, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 15. The visitors come forward again. Pass into Frederick. Can she recover it? Oh, lovely! Absolutely lovely from Frederick. It seemed like the ball would go out of bounds there. Oh, she took the catch. A bit of a spin. Loved it in. Absolutely lovely. I think that was the play of the series so far. Annette, you describe it.
That play clearly has taken my partner. He was on his feet when he saw it. So that will tell you how much he thought of it.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely there from Frederick. My, oh my. It's Wharton with the chance. And she puts Barbados back into the lead.
I can give you the stats for that first quarter. Sonica Wharton, she shot 8 from 9. Sorry, 5 from 7. And Latonya Blackman got 7 from 9. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the goal shooter, was all perfect. 11 from 11, as was the goal attack, 2 from 2.
So I think Annette now has some stats for us.
Yes, the stats from the first quarter. Shanika Wharton, goal shooter for Barbados. She shot 5 from 8, and Latonya Blackman 7 from 9. For St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the goal shooter, that's Mary-Ann Frederick. She shot 11 from 11, and the goal attack, Kamisha, was 2 from 2. Right, scores are tied up. No? Scores are 19 to Barbados, 16 to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, according to the scoreboard. 19-17 to Barbados.
Barbados with the slight advantage over St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
They have the ball and they'll be trying to get it to Fredericks. They try.
Oh, Frederick there with another lovely catch. Yes. My oh my. Marianne Frederick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. She's playing lovely.
See, you can't force that ball inside there.
Stout gets the ball going for Barbados. She played the ball there into Smith, but there was something there called by the umpire. Smith looks to find Wharton. Wharton with a hand in the face. Gets it to go.
Barbados centre pass. And there's some people who believe that in netball is a very fair system where you have centre pass every other, as opposed to who scores gets the centre pass. It's in the hybrid form of netball, the fast five, that is who scores get the centre pass. But in the static form of netball, it is every other centre pass.
We saw great awareness there from Rockyaw to intercept that pass. Smith will play the ball into Wharton. Wharton. Blackman can recover. Shanika Wharton there with another goal for Team Barbados. The score now reads Barbados 21, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 18. Still look to come forward. It's going to be Akina Stout to get things going for Barbados. Stout to Rockyaw. Back to Stout. Stout to Smith. Smith finds Rockyaw. Rockyaw looks for a pass into Blackman. Call there by the umpire.
Obstruction.
And Wharton won't mind. She takes the opportunity to get another goal for Barbados. This is Sabrina Smith. Finds Tanisha Rockyaw.
Umpire is making a call there. There was some infringement in the circle. The ball is with St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yep, the visitors look to come forward. Barbados look to pressure.
Penalty pass awarded to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Frederick is going to take it.
She's not going to miss from there.
It's their centre pass, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Barbados is ahead by 3.
Yeah, 22-19 the score, as you can see on your screen. This is Akina Stout. Stout to Smith. Smith to Rockyaw, the center. Oh, easy there for Wharton. Bit of a miscommunication there from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines players, and the ball was able to trickle through to Wharton, who took the opportunity to get another goal for Barbados. So Wharton there showing great awareness to capitalize on the St. Vincent and the Grenadines error.
Correct. And that's what it's all about, huh? Because of the fact of the fairness of the centre pass, you really have to do something to the other team's centre pass in order to score so that you can go ahead. So any opportunity like that is a great opportunity for you to score and go ahead.
Yeah, it seemed like the Barbados team just put a bit of pressure onto St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And then the error occurred. This is Sabrina Smith. Finds Blackman. Blackman to Stout. Stout there with not the best of passes to Rockyaw, but she recovers. This is Blackman. Oh, a lovely pass into Wharton. Can she get it go with the hand in the face?
St. Vincent got the ball. But they're not guarding that ball. Well. Hence, Barbados is able to intercept and take it down to their goal circle and score. scores. Barbados still with that slight lead, the 4 goals in this second quarter. There's just 4 more minutes left in this second quarter. And Barbados leads 24-20. This 25 now.
Blackman, yep, makes it 25. So it's a 5-goal game here with just under 4 minutes left in the second quarter. This the final game of the International Invitational Series between Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines here at the Wildy Gymnasium. Rockyaw to Bruce. Rockyaw finds Smith. Smith, the ball into Wharton. Wharton gets it in. 6-goal game now. So Barbados seem to be extending their lead as it comes to the business end of this, the second quarter. Nice bounce pass there from Rockyaw into Blackman. Blackman goes back to Rockyaw. Rockyaw to Wharton. She's going to try her luck. In and out. Great recovery there. And the crowd definitely appreciating that one from the home team.
Yes, that's a run-up interception. The goalkeeper saw the ball was coming, timed their run, and collected it.
Blackman with the opportunity to make it a 7-goal lead for Barbados, and she does just that. And this is Frederick, hand in the face. It didn't matter.
That's your favorite, not your favorite description, hand in the face. There's some type of substitution going on there. All types of substitutions going on there with 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
So it seems like Tonisha Rockyaw has been replaced by Stephiane Shepherd in the center position. And there's also a new goal shoot for Barbados.
That's Celie Agard that was playing goalkeeper earlier.
Yeah.
She plays both ends of the circle, so she's down there at goal shooter.
So she replaces Shanika Wharton. We see the first look of Brianna Holder for the night. She comes in to the, is that the wing attack position? Yep. Barbados have an 8-point lead, 29-21 the score. Oh, lovely there, but Stout couldn't keep the possession. Good pressure though, but unable to keep the ball for Barbados. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines get the ball into the goal. Barbados look to come forward. This is Brianna Holder into Celie Agard. Gets it to go, yeah. 30-23 now the score. As the hosts, the visitors, come forward. Intercepted there.
Unfortunately, it appears as if Shauna, again, that ball in the face thing. So Shauna is holding her face.
Celie Agard can get it to go.
The time.
So we see a stop in player Celie Agard. She's going to get some attention there from the medic, Dennis Callender. So we see Samantha Brown in the background. But we'll be hoping that that injury won't be too serious. But it's the end of the quarter here in this, the third and final match of the International Invitational Series between Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And Barbados with a lead at the halfway stage. It's Barbados 31, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 23.
That's the end of the, that's halftime. I think you will see both teams going into their rooms to talk about it. Halftime is 10 to 12 minutes. So we will have a break for this 10 to 12 minutes. So we will have a break and then we'll be back with you when the game restarts in the third quarter.
So just about 10 to 12 minutes, you say? 10 to 12 minutes. This is live coverage of the International Invitational Series between Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As mentioned before, we're just going to take a short break here, but when we return, it will be the time for the third quarter.
Converted 15 of them. Latonia Blackman, 14 attempts, 12 scored. Faye Agard, 4 from 4. For St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Marianne Fedrick, she had 22 attempts, converted 21. And Kenisha Antoine, 2 from 2. There are the statistics for the first half of the game. G7557 is the stage for the driver of that silver Mitsubishi Lancer.
Hello and welcome back to the Garfield Sobers Sports Complex, the Wildy Gymnasium. This is live coverage of the third and final match of the Invitational International Netball Series between Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's the halfway stage. The score at the halfway stage is Barbados 31, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 23. On your screen, these are the stats for the first two games. Barbados victorious, Barbados winning the first game 48-32, and then also winning the second game 57-44. Annette, Barbados already winning the series, clinching the victory. What are your thoughts on the first two games?
Well, one has to look at the purpose of this invitational series. The purpose was principally for Barbados to get some type of match practice before going off to the Commonwealth Games, because the last set they had was in Dominica when they played in the OECS Championships, in which they couldn't place because they were just there to play the games. So they need this type of match interaction to get better ready for what they will come up against in the Commonwealth Games. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines agreed to come, and it was quite what should I say, egregious of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for them to accept that invitation, because it was a late playing, a late sorting out of stuff, and here they are. So I think that both teams, I don't want to say that winning was not a priority.
Yeah.
Winning is always a priority, but the emphasis had to be on what, from a coaching perspective, what works, what does not work, what can I try when I'm behind, who brings me back forward, and that sort of information is what Coach Cutting would have been looking to garner from this series.
Definitely agree.
We're seeing there in the VIP stand, we're seeing some old stalwarts of netball. Stephanie Graves, the former treasurer of netball. Mona Ali, the former president, former assistant director of the National Sports Council. So all types of people are here to watch this game.
Bit of a who's who in the VIP section there. Lovely to see, as you mentioned. As we see here a shot of the court. Players from both teams have emerged from the company of the head coaches.
And what we can tell you out of that second quarter was that Barbados outscored St. Vincent and the Grenadines 19 goals to 10. Wharton 10 from 11, Blackman 5 from 5, and Agard 4 from 4. And for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Frederick scored them all 10 from 11. So in that quarter, Barbados scored 19 and St. Vincent and the Grenadines 10, which meant that the halftime score was 31 to Barbados, 23 to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's the bench, just the players' bench from Barbados. Obviously, they're going to make some changes here now in this third quarter.
Yep.
And I'm seeing it here. Shawnette Azor Bruce, she's come back in at goalkeeper, and that Samantha Brown is in at wing defense. That's the Barbados changes for this third quarter.
Yeah, first sight of Samantha Brown for the night.
St. Vincent starts with a centre pass and lose it.
So this is Stout. So Shepherd looks to find Brown. Oh, lovely pass there from Holder. And the goal shooter for Barbados at Sealy.
Yeah, that's Faye Sealy.
Gets it to go.
Footwork and strap infraction there. And St. Vincent comes away with the ball.
Yeah, the visitors come forward. Lovely there from Delpiche. Antonio with the opportunity. He's going to have another one. And gets it to go. A bit of a clap there from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines bench. They appreciate that effort. They get that all-important goal for them as they look to come forward. The aim now for St. Vincent and the Grenadines obviously has to be starting by cutting down the deficit, looking to level it, and then obviously hoping that they can go on and get in front. While Barbados, on the other hand, they'll be looking to extend their lead at this stage. You mentioned last night that the third quarter is a very decisive quarter in any netball game.
Yes, it is. Some of the best teams struggle in that third quarter. But St. Vincent, really, why would you do that?
Yeah, a bit of a loose ball.
You're forcing the ball. You've gone over third in netball. You can only pass. You cannot span 2/3 to pass the ball. You lose that ball when you didn't need to lose it. You needed to bring it down, as we say in netball. You need to guard that ball at all times, and it results in a goal for Barbados. 33 for Barbados, 25 for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. St. Vincent with the ball again. Overhead again. Fredericks made an attempt and miss. She gets a penalty and she scores.
So Barbados come forward. This is Blackman into Holder. And her pass there intercepted by St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
They need to cut up. Out to court is Barbados center. It's Barbados ball from the sideline.
Yeah. As we see there in our shot, Samantha Brown, she's going to get it going.
I refuse to believe that that's the elementary rule that these netballers keep breaking all the time. Look, St. Vincent did the same thing.
Yeah.
That is foot on the line. When you're taking that pass from outside, when the ball has gone out of court, your foot must have no contact with the line.
Shepherd.
Umpires must think they're being worked overtime here.
Oh, lovely pass. And Frederick gets it to go, yeah. That's how she likes the ball, over the top. She's a very tall player, Fredericks. So she knows that she has that aerial ability above most players.
I hear you, sir. I'm quite satisfied as long as it's those type of passes that go in, specific passes in terms of how you're lobbing it, and not just lobbing it because you want to get it into her in a hurry and being stolen by your opponents.
It must be accurate, is what you're saying. Shepherd. Her pass into CD.
Out of court it is.
Blackman with the bounce pass. And Blackman converts.
The Vincentian defense, the two defenses seem to have some fairly quick hands in that circle.
Yeah, this is Anton. Looks to find Dalpiche. Dalpiche. Good link-up player there with Anton. Can she get it in? Yes, she can. That's Kamisha Anton, the goal attack for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, getting another goal for her team as Barbados comes forward. Finds Fredericks. And she makes it.
St. Vincent is definitely with a plan here now.
Yeah.
To try and break down that deficit, but they cannot break down that deficit with those type of passes. They have to go back to what they were doing. Precise, accurate passes into the goal circle.
Blackman can get it to go.
5 goal lead we have.
Stoke to Shepherd. Shepherd, the pass to Seeley. It's a call there by the umpire. As St. Vincent and the Grenadines come forward. Anton. To Fredericks. Fredericks can't get it to go. Anton can recover. Can she make it count? Yes, she can. Applause there from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines bench. Great effort there from Anton, recovering the ball and then making the goal. Pass from Williams into Fredericks, and Frederick gets it to go.
Barbados loses their center pass there again.
So the score, just for our viewers at home, Barbados 35, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 32. As
attention, chasing the ball, seemed to have rolled over something. And Vincent needs to put a player in her place.
Barbados picks up more goals. Stout will restart the play for Barbados. No, it's actually St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They come forward and they have the opportunity to get another goal, and they're converted. Let's see the. Yep. Loving it from Barbados. It's just a 4-goal lead at this stage, but as we know, all goals are important as they look to extend that lead. With just under 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Shepherd couldn't keep the possession there, and it's easy pickings for Frederick.
All alone, she was in the goal circle and she converted.
Yep. Barbados look to come forward quickly. This is Blackman. And Brianna Holder plays the ball into Seeley. Seeley, too much to handle, seemed. Another injury, it seems like, for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This time it's their goal attack, Kamisha Antone. She's on the surface. Well, she's back up on her feet now, and that's good to see.
But I'm not seeing St. Vincent putting on the subs as one player goes off hurt. The rule is that the player that goes off hurt can be replaced, but I'm not seeing St. Vincent replacing, because there we are. There's just one goal person in one defense in Barbados' circle. Oh, she's now coming on. A goal defense is now coming on. Pass into Frederick. It hopped around and she was hoping it dropped in, but it didn't.
It didn't.
But she got a penalty pass and she scores.
Yep. 4-goal game.
It is. Well intercepted there by St. Vincent and the Grenadines Centre. There we go. The goal shooter, she scores again. That's Fredericks. That's 38 to Barbados, 35 to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's with St. Vincent. It's their centre pass. They were trying to get that ball into Fredericks again. They're not Fredericks, but they got it into her partner, and it was in and out. Penalty pass awarded to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Fredericks will take it. She scores. 38 goals to Barbados, 36 goals to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and St. Vincent is chipping away at that Barbados lead.
So you see Brianna Holder to Blackman, Blackman to Holder. Pass, looking to find Seeley. But they play.
It's out of court, it's Barbados throwing.
Yeah.
No, it's a penalty pass.
Seeley gets it to go. It seems like on every opportunity that St. Vincent and the Grenadines get the goal, Barbados is hitting back directly. So they're not allowing St. Vincent and the Grenadines to gain much momentum as they look to crawl their way back into this contest.
Right, and St. Vincent throwing the ball away there, which is something they cannot afford to do at this time. They need to score on every center pass in order to get back into this game.
Oh, lovely there from Blackman. The ball goes out. It's going to stay with Barbados. Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Pass interception there. Shepherd couldn't find a teammate.
So Vincent Center is having a good game.
Yep. That's Delpiche, Narissa Delpiche.
Get that over to Frederick.
Frederick gets it in.
She does. Is that the score? 38-38?
Yep.
You're all tied up?
We're all tied up. Even Stevens. Barbados will have possession. This is Akina Stoke. Finds Holder. Holder back to Shepherd. Lovely bit of play there from Shepherd. And Blackman gets it to go. Lovely passes there from Team Barbados. It all started with the play from Stout. She going to Brianna Holder, and then Holder to Shepherd. Shepherd then with the pass into Blackman. And Blackman got it to go. As we see Frederick, they're unable to get that goal in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're going to see another change here for Barbados. It looks like Tanisha Rockyaw returns to the game. She's in. And Stephian Shepherd is out. So you mentioned about the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Shepherd playing well. And the Barbados head coach decided that she will make a change and bring Tanisha Rockyaw at that center position back in for Stephian Shepherd for Barbados.
Right, and we saw that the ball just going up and down the sideline. Whoever wants it gets it.
Yeah.
And it's back with Barbados.
So this is going to be Samantha Brown to get things going. She plays the ball to Stout. Stout finds Rockyaw. Rockyaw to Blackman. Blackman to Holder. Holder looks for a pass and goes back to Stout. Stout back to Holder. It's a 2-goal game. 40 for Barbados. Made that 41. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines 38. Seconds remaining here in this, the third quarter of the third and final game in this, the International Invitational Series between Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines here at the Sir Garfield Sobers Sports Complex, the Wilde Gymnasium. Seeley there with an opportunity. She can't get it to go.
Offside. Back to Seeley, and there's a scrummage there, and it ends up with St. Vincent.
Oh, lovely there from Rockyaw to recover. But Barbados will not keep the possession. So they come forward. Oh, lovely interception there from Stout. Can she get it going? Yes, she can. Plays the ball to Brown. Brown, Stout again. Finds Blackman. Blackman into Seeley.
Didn't get it to go. That's the end of the third quarter. So we see 41 to Barbados, 38 to St. Vincent. A very keen quarter there.
So mentioned, it's very close at this stage, the end of the third quarter. Barbados 41, hanging on to this, the lead. St. Vincent and the Grenadines 38.
I think in that quarter, Barbados has scored 15 by St. Vincent and 10 by Barbados. In that ignominious third quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me. I mute myself. Tell me. You want to tell me something? She coming up. He's coming up.
Who coming up?
Charles Griffith, the minister. We can talk to him for how long? Time music.
As we prepare to start the fourth quarter, these are the following changes. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Jo Maria Washington comes in at goalkeeper on Team Barbados. Akina Stout goes to wing defense. Brianna Holder to goal attack. Samantha Brown wing attack. Latonia Blackman goal defense. Changes for Barbados again. Latonia Blackman goes to goal defense. Samantha Brown to wing attack, Brianna Holder goal attack, and Akina Stout wing defense. The lone change from St. Vincent and the Grenadines is Poshi at goal.
Welcome back to the Sir Garfield Sober Sports Complex, the Wildy Gymnasium. This is live coverage of the third and final match in this, the Invitational International Netball Series between Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Barbados with a slight advantage going into the fourth quarter, leading 41-38. And joining me now in the commentary booth is the Honorable Minister of Sports, Youth and Community Empowerment, Mr. Charles Griffith. Good night to you, sir.
Hi, good night to you.
Mr. Minister of Sports, it is the first time that netball is being played after the pandemic here at the gymnasium. International netball returns to Barbados. Just talk to us a little bit about that, and you know, the role that you would have played to ensure that, you know, this netball series is happening at the moment.
Thank you. The reality is that, as you can see from the numbers of spectators tonight, that Barbados is hungry for sports to be up and running again. The fact that we have the gymnasium here and that we can actually host our guests indoors is definitely a plus. When they go to Commonwealth, they're going to be playing on a surface like this. So to me, it made no sense to be playing outside at the netball stadium when the facilities are here and can be utilized for this purpose.
When you mentioned the girls going off to the Commonwealth Games, and you also mentioned the spectators here at the sporting event, I'm going to ask you this question as well. In terms of sports tourism, how important is that for Barbados to have a team like St. Vincent and the Grenadines come into Barbados and being able to play those friendlies?
It is big. It is big. We have St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as you mentioned. They have probably about 25 to 30 persons who accompany the team here. Sports tourism is big within the ministry. My sports development officer is actively working all the time to see what opportunities are available for us to engage in sports tourism. We kind of have a working relationship with the Ministry of Tourism as well. So we're looking to see how best we can get teams to come in and either have an invitation or to have a tournament. We have explored the opportunity with one of the swimming coaches. I don't want to preempt what is proposed, but we're looking at sometime late in the year to have, for example, a swimming championship here. In the Bahamas, every summer, about 12 basketball college teams go to the Bahamas to play in a tournament. So we're looking for opportunities to see how best we can have some of that come to Barbados as well.
You mentioned about an playing outdoor, the netball, and playing indoors here. There was a call earlier when we first came on air 2 nights ago about a home for netball. Is this something that's in the plans for your ministry as well?
Yes, plans are in train to have a home, but I'm not going to just say for netball because we have basketball and volleyball that can also utilize an indoor facility. So if there is, and there, like I said, plans are in train for that. If there is such an indoor facility, it would not be just for netball, but those other two sports that I mentioned should also be able to use the facilities.
Yeah, so it would not only be for netball, it would be like a multi-purpose.
A multi-purpose, yeah, indoor facility.
So you see there, Barbados still leading 43-40 at this stage. Minister, I'm going to ask you this one final question. In terms of other sports and the reopening, what more can we expect from the Ministry of Sports in terms of that regard?
Well, we have the road tennis going. In the next couple of weeks or so, the ministry will be launching our annual sports training program that will see different disciplines dotted across the island. So that is coming soon. I'm also looking to see how best we can start an under-17 football competition as well. So plans are in place to make sure that sports is very, very live in the country. Only last week the Sports Council went to St. Lucie to do a program down there, and that is going to be expanded as well.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Minister of Sports, Youth and Community Empowerment, Mr. Charles Griffith. It has been a pleasure chatting with you, sir.
Yes, the pleasure is mine. Thank you. I'm hoping that this move from just that we invite St. Vincent to a challenge trophy, but I will speak to the president of the Netball Association about that. If I have to donate the challenge trophy myself, I'll do that.
Lovely. Sounds good.
Good. Thank you very much.
So this is CD. Can't get it to go for Team Barbados. As we welcome back Annette.
Well, while you were talking to the minister, both teams were getting very busy, and it is really it's turned into a very good game right now.
As we see their player down on the surface. They're calling for a timeout. It's the wing attack for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Ruth Ann Williams. She's on the ground. A number of players standing over her. A number of her teammates, and she's now back to her feet. She hops off the court. Hoping that that injury is nothing too serious for Williams.
While that was happening, Shanita Walker came back on court. I think she's replaced. Who has she replaced? Faye City at goal shooter.
So Blackman to Brown. Brown looks for a pass. Finds Holder with the attempt.
She'll get another attempt. There's a penalty pass awarded to Barbados. She shoots and she scores. So Barbados ahead by 2 with 10 minutes left in the final quarter. That's what we were saying there, boy. You tried to steal one there, they nearly got away with it.
Yep.
Ball out of court again, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines is going to throw it in. Umpire's call, umpire's timeout. She restarts the game.
So St. Vincent and the Grenadines look to come forward. Oh, a bit of a coming together there between the two centers. It's Tanisha Rockyaw and Delpiche, Narissa Delpiche. And the fans are loving it.
No, but you don't want to see that. Umpires take control.
Yeah.
And awarded the ball to
Tempers flaring.
Who is the ball awarded to? Oh, she got sent off. The center got sent off, but you can't replace her. You can change positions, right? You have to change positions for somebody to become center, because center is the integral part of what happens. But the umpire is going over there to say to the umpire, her other umpire, that it cannot happen like that. Somebody will have to come in and take the center pass.
So St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be without a player.
Yes.
Things are calm now again. Rockyaw comes forward. Oh, Brown with a lovely pass into Wharton. Wharton gets it to go, yes.
That's 45 to Barbados, 41 to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it is Barbados center pass. And their aim on this center pass will be to score. Wharton has it. He scores. Breaking the line there. You have to wait for the umpire's call before you step into the center third when it is your center pass. I'm trying to count the players from St. Vincent on court. Are you getting 6 or 7?
This is Samantha Brown into Wharton. Wharton can't get it to go, but Holder recovers. Yes. Shanika Wharton there converts the goal for Barbados. This is Rockyaw. Rockyaw into Holder. So Wharton with the opportunity.
Right, St. Vincent is playing with 6 players.
Oh, lovely. Oh, all that hard work done, then to give it away.
Well, that happened because her momentum took her, and therefore the pass was out of court. But St. Vincent is now at a decided disadvantage.
Yep.
Having to play with 6 players.
So they score now 48 to 41. Barbados with a 7-goal lead, with just under 7 minutes left in this, the third and final match between the two teams in this, the Invitational International Netball Series, as Barbados prepares for the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. The Commonwealth Games will be later this month from July 28th to August 8th.
The umpire's consulting there and exactly what has to happen with the player that they sent off. If she's off for good, if she's off for the rest of the game, if she's off for a particular number of center passes. But she's gone and taken up position on her bench, so it looks as if she's off for the rest of the game, which is about just under 7 minutes.
Yep. Interception there. And Rockyaw can win it back for Barbados.
But it was out of court, so Rockyaw passes it in.
Yeah.
Sail.
So Wharton there with the opportunity. And she gets it to go, converts. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines will come forward. It's a 6-goal lead for Team Barbados. But remember, St. Vincent and the Grenadines are without a player. Clever bit of play there. Fredericks gets it to go. So even though St. Vincent and the Grenadines are 1 player short, they're not prepared to just give up.
No, they are not. They are still fighting all the way.
Rockyaw to Wharton. Wharton.
All alone. Should score.
And she did that. 49-43, now the score. Oh, lovely there from Seeley. Gets the ball forward. This is Samantha Brown. Brown is very energetic in there. Almost a bit of a spill there for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but they can come forward. It's Frederick on the line. Can't get it to go. She has another chance and gets it to go on that opportunity.
Yes, she did. They're down by 6. That's St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're in the final quarter with 4.5 minutes to go. Orton will put it up again.
Yep.
Barrow's up to 50.
6-goal game.
Oh, sorry, she went offside. The goalkeeper tried. She thought she had it, but then she went offside. But the ball is still awarded to Barbados.
Yep. Wharton takes the catch and takes the goal as well. It's Rockyall with the centre pass. She finds Samantha Brown. Brown looking to find Wharton. Barbados moves up to 52. It feels 52-43 as we see another player hitting the deck.
I tell you, they're throwing their all at the ball. And that's one good thing about playing on the floor. You can do things while playing on the floor that you cannot do while you're on a hard court.
Yeah. So this is Brianna Holder from Team Barbados with the ball in her hand. So we see the court now is being mopped a bit. Probably a bit of perspiration on the court. So Wharton jumps, collects, and gets the goal to go. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines come forward. Oh, pass intercepted, can't keep it alive.
She did or didn't she?
The umpire stopped play a bit.
It was over third, it seems, because the ball is with St. Vincent and the Grenadines now. There's an urgency about this netball at this stage.
Yeah.
Both teams are playing for, you know, with sense of urgency.
So this is Akina Stout. Plays the ball into Samantha Brown. And Brown looking for Holder. That one a bit too clever. It's Frederick. Gets it to go, nothing but net.
Accurate goal shooter as is Wharton.
Barbados to come forward. This is Samantha Brown. Plays the pass over to Wharton. Play stopped again. So Wharton converts. A 9-goal game now. With
that got there quickly.
Yeah, with just Barbados to come forward. Stoke couldn't keep or couldn't grab control of the ball.
as it scores. As long as she gets that ball in her hand in that favorite position of hers, she will score.
Seconds left on the clock. It's Brown into Wharton. Wharton can get it to go. The Team Barbados 55-46 as the clock winds down on this, the final match of the series.
That's it.
That's the final whistle. Here at the Sir Garfield Sober Sports Complex, the Wildy Gymnasium. And Barbados wraps up a clean sweep of the Invitational International Netball Series between them and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The final score tonight, Barbados 55-46, as I mentioned before, winning 3 games to nothing against their visitors, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Barbados warmed up for the Commonwealth Games. Annette Beckett, your final thoughts?
Well, the last part of the game was very competitive, and which led to some injuries, which we hope are not long-standing injuries. And we also had some, we had a fracas, which resulted in one of the Vincentian Center being sent off clearly for the rest of the game, which meant that for that last part of that last quarter, St. Vincent was playing with 6 players, which is a decided disadvantage. But they hung in there, they didn't give up, they continued to fight, and in some cases they were still able to make some interceptions, hence the score ended up at 55 to Barbados, 46 to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
So we see the shot on your screen, that's the victorious Barbados team, clinching the series 3 games to nothing. You mentioned the player being sent off for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. How important was that, or how much of a decisive point in the game was that one?
It was, because it was at the stage where St. Vincent was beginning to try to get some momentum going, and I think they were down by 3 goals at that stage, and then when that happened, it was just curtains for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because then Barbados was able to capitalize on the fact that there were only 6 players on court, and therefore lengthened their advantage and ended up winning 55-46.
This is lovely to see, Annette. You see the players from both teams huddled together.
That's a Caribbean netball thing. And then an international netball thing. When you're finished, you join hands in the circle and give each other praise. Yeah,
it shows sportsmanship, shows a bit of togetherness and unity despite the scoreline. And you know, this is what sports does for people and for us. I know it is a situation where the 2 teams would have played, one team won, one team lost, but it is still lovely to see that at the end of the game, both players from the teams can come together, as we see Latonia Blackman there in conversation with another St. Vincent and the Grenadines player.
Yes, they're all quite good friends, you know. I mean, friends through sports. So they will be there talking about what happened and what should not have happened and how it should happen, and who was wrong and was it corrected correctly, and that's what that conversation there is about. And don't bother about it. You know, I hope you have a good flight home.
Yeah.
So that's it from us. Are we staying for there's a presentation to happen, I believe. Are we?
Yeah, so I think that's a last shot of the Barbados team as we're going to say goodbye for now from the Sir Garfield Sober Sports Complex of the Wildy Gymnasium. This is the final score. Barbados 55-46. Barbados wrapping up a series win of this, the Invitational Netball Series between them and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On the behalf of the entire broadcast team, my name is Anmar Goodrich Boyce, and this is us saying goodbye for now.
Enjoy your night.
one player doing this, taking an opportunity for court. Because of the situation coming into the last quarter.
What are we doing?
The first quarter, the second quarter,
So let us get past some bug games because that is right here upon us. I want to talk a little bit about the qualifiers in October in Jamaica. For a young player who is sitting and watching this, is there an opportunity for that player to come out and be given a look at the
Into them one, she go up to the lower back. Show that she's going to be clear this time after they never come to see neutrals. I mean, them some young player when it's not and they never take the to come and don't see whether she be added at this point.
It's true.
Lower back.
we're going to come around and also head to
So can I say that tonight and the previous 2 nights, we were successful already. We were able to teach some of the things that we were looking at, put together some combinations, some of how we're working as we go forward.
Push back, man. Feeling it? Huh? Feeling it? Push back, you got to push back on it, you know, you got to do that.
I don't take this seriously now.
Thank you very much, Kadim. Ladies and gentlemen, the coach of the Barbados national team, Margaret Kadim. Let's give the ladies another round of applause.
I had off again last week.
Push you.
My thing is, I had a bad game last week. That's like, you said this again, but I know myself. I know ability to go. Although I score for one for 4 years, that last one was good. I think your problem is, make up for the everything. Make up for the everything. It's just a game. Put it like blood, you know you took it.